Greetings, people of the world. Matthew back with you for the start of a brand new Let's Play, and we're going from one Legend of Zelda game right into another. In fact, we're taking on what is probably the most successful and popular game in the Legend of Zelda series, Ocarina of Time. Because there's no question that this has been one of the most popular Legend of Zelda games ever to do among YouTube gamers. Pretty much anyone who's a gamer on YouTube has this game in their gaming library. From the biggest names to all the indie gamers who try and establish themselves like myself, all the people out there want to try their luck at this game. Whether it's their first time doing it, whether it's been something that they play on a regular basis, or if you're someone like me who hasn't played it in 12 years and you want to get yourself reestablished with it, this is a game that's definitely is one that everyone can agree on. It's just that popular, and we're gonna try our luck at it, so let's get to it. So to let you know, since obviously I stated before, it's been 12 years since I actually played this game, I've been doing a little practice file here to try and remember where everything is, and since I don't have a use of a strategy guide and I have to rely on game facts to remind myself where everything is, I was getting myself to the point where on my practice file I'm currently at Lord Jabu Jabu. So that's where I'm getting my practice file, and I'm obviously going to be using that as reference when I do my regular Let's Play file here on YouTube. So let's start a new file with the traditional Legend of Zelda hero's name, Link. So, without further ado, let us be on our way. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. And it sounds like he's shivering too. He needs a blanket. Why doesn't he have a blanket? Well, what he is having is a dream. But is it more like a nightmare? Because he's seen a horse running by him, which is going to be right now. Two people are riding it, including a scared little girl. And they're being chased by this guy. And that is one deep tan. And yeah, even Link is shocked by how deep that tan is. Yeah, what a way to start this game. Navi. Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Hello there, Navi. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. And so, here we go into the most awesome first-person perspective in video gaming history! We're gonna take one to the left, one to the right, go between someone's legs, and check out this beautiful little village in the woods.
Hello!
Oh, hello to you too! Lots of cute little denizens. Lots of people trying to get some strength, because they want to be strong, so we gotta find Link's house. Target sighted. Yes. The greatest first-person perspective in video game history also features the greatest concussion in video gaming history. What a comical way to start our journey. And here we find Link, who still is without a blanket.
Hello.
Hello, Link! Wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you! Link, get up! Hey, come on! Can Hyrule destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Well, apparently it does, Navi. You got a problem with that? And now Link has finally come around. Oh, and who do we have here? Hello there. You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. This can only mean one thing. Mr. Crocker is going to have his sights set on us, and he won't stop until he proves that fairies exist. Yes. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now! Yes. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun poking fun at the Fairly Odd Parents in this Let's Play. At least I hope so. So as Link emerges from his little home, which has a really nice view, he views one of his fellow Kokiri coming in. Yahoo! Hi, Link! So, let's go and say hello to her. Come on, Link, jump off the ladder. Let's go talk to her. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link! Wow, that's great news! I'm so happy for you! Now you're a true Kokiri, Link! Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going! Go see the Great Deku Tree! So let's go and take the advice of our friend. Her name is Saria, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with the game. So it would be so easy to go over to the Great Deku Tree and say hello to him and ask what he wants. Unfortunately, there's this guy in the way. And unfortunately, he's on defense. You can't get by him for some reason. Hey you, Mr. No Fairy! What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? This fairy that suddenly disappeared told me I have to go see him? Wow, my fairy is a bit of a coward. Without a fairy, you're not even a real man! Wow, I can't believe you even said that. Without a fairy, it proves I'm a real man because it proves that I don't need them, unlike Timmy Turner. What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mito? I don't know, you tell me. This isn't funny! You're right, it's not. Now let me through. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. What do you mean? How do you think you're gonna help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? Well, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like you have any of those things. What? Yeah. You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but yeah. So what are you doing standing in my way, you hypocrite? If you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. So let me get this straight. You're only gonna let me through if I have a sword and shield. Is that so I can threaten you with a sword? Will you get on my way if I threaten to hurt you with a sword? Is that how it's gonna go? Well, apparently it looks that's gonna be the case. So let's go find ourselves a sword and a shield. The only way we can do that is to, among other things, get rupees because, as I will point out if I can find it, is in where is the store? I need to point that out before I go any further. It's supposed to be at the one building right over here. Hi Link, look this way! Look over here with Z and talk to me with A! So, gotta do this. There we are. Yes, that's how you use a fairy! It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner! I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy! When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z, or Z if you're an American, to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it! Well, yeah, Navi. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. Well, I'd love to, Navi, but there's a jerk who's playing defense. Yeah, if only it was so simple. So here in the Kokiri shop, we can buy a lot of things from a guy who's apparently so short he can barely look over the table. So what we want over here is the Deku Shield. However, it's going to set us back 40 rupees. We only have 5 of them. So that means we have to go collect 35 more rupees. That can be done as we go along. And also as well, I mean, while we're doing this, we should also go... Where is that direction? Okay, that was my house. Rupees can pretty much be found anywhere. They come in 1 in 5 denominations around here in the Kokiri Forest. And we can also find some in here, I'm sure. Oh, okay, apparently I need the sword first. So that's what going in here is for. Come on, Link, go on in. Yeah, use A. I'm using the Wii Virtual Console, by the way, and I've noticed that the controls are a bit tricky here with the Wii VC version, just like as they were in Link to the Past. Okay, so I know for a fact that there are boulders running around that can really make your... What the heck did I get hit by? Oh. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay, that was most unexpected. This isn't, however. This is the first of the required items. Here is the Kokiri Sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. So let's hit the menu button, which gives us 4 options, including a map, stuff we've collected over the period of the game, equipment, and various items we'll also be collecting. So what we want is to equip our Kokiri Sword with A. Having taken care of that, we can now move on. We can cut up various stuff, including signs. And shrubs. Yeah, we definitely need the heart back after that trick move by you, you sneaky boulder. Yeah. Run me down while my back is turned, will ya? So, now that we've taken care of all that, back through this little hole because it's the only way we can get out of here. So now we can start cutting stuff up. So since it's going to take a bit of a while to get to 26 more rupees, I just want to talk about how really great it is to be playing this game, because there's no question that in 1998 when this game was released, it was definitely one of the most successful times in video game history. I mean, Pokemon had just come in a couple of years ago, and it was starting to really catch on like wildfire. And also at the time you had the Legend... No, yeah, this was around as well, of course. But also around before this game was Final Fantasy VII, one of the perhaps the most successful game in the Final Fantasy series, if for no other reason that it helped to launch the PlayStation 1 in ways that Crash Bandicoot never could. And in doing so, it pretty much ensured that console gaming by disc would become the status quo, and it's continued that way. It's 2013, and we're still playing games by console. So this game really has a lot of history with it to be associated with 2 of the most successful games ever. And these 3 games, Pokemon, Final Fantasy VII, and Ocarina of Time, really have combined to make one of the greatest time periods in the history of video gaming. There's no question about that, and this is definitely the most successful game ever for the Nintendo 64, I'm quite sure of that. Now, where else can I find rupees? I know there are lots of places to find them, or at least there should be more places than to find them. Now, where can I find more? Because I know I can't necessarily go to say hi to Mito yet until I have what I'm looking for. Oh, okay, I see more rupees. I see another 5. There you are, you're right over here. Hello there. Now, were there more up here? Because if you go this direction, you're going to be actually approaching the Lost Woods. And you can go in there right now, but you don't necessarily need to, because there's nothing of real significance that you need here as of yet. So we're just going to keep looking for 8 more rupees. Yeah, and so lots of great stuff was going on in 1998, and it's great stuff that was about to come in. Trying to remember some of the stuff that happened in 1998. I mean, at that time, 2 of the most successful singers of our generation had just recently released their debut hits. Those being Britney Spears and Eminem. Britney Spears had Baby One More Time, and Eminem had My Name Is, and those were their respective first successful chart hits, and that allowed them to become the successful singers that they became. Of course, there was also the huge rivalry of the boy bands between NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, and of course, that would lead to the success of perhaps one of the most popular singers of our generation, and he still is, Justin Timberlake. Of course, he recently released his latest album, and his song Take Back the Night is definitely up there on the charts, as it should be. I mean, after all, it is Justin Timberlake. On television, what do I remember about 1998? Well, I remember that South Park had just went on the air about a year earlier, and Jerry Springer, a couple of years before that, became the show that we know about that it is today. So, yeah, and it's incredibly, both of those shows are still going strong even after all these years. I'm down to 2 rupees. I only need 2 more. 1 more. Okay, we got 40. Okay, we can go back to the shop. Okay, and also in 1998 was the launch of the American version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that show was really good for the first couple of years, but after the turn of the century, it pretty much became, all the humor became focused on sex and sex only. So, if you ever wanted to know, for those of you who are Miley Cyrus fans, if you ever wanted to know where twerking came from, you can thank the cast of Whose Line Is It Anyway for that, because pretty much any sex movie you see on TV these days pretty much originated in one form or another through Whose Line Is It Anyway. So yeah, twerking was invented by Whose Line Is It Anyway 15 years ago. Anyway, Mito, you and I still have some unfinished business. If you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Sheesh! Oh, you're right. I've got the sword, but I don't have the shield equipped. Well, thank you very much for reminding me, Mito. You actually did something nice for a change. Yeah. You should at least equip a sword and a shield. I know! Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield? And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? Well, look who's got the weapon. I, the Great Mito, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Sari and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. Well, maybe if you were nicer to people, maybe you'd win their favor too. Sadly, you didn't, and that's why you're just jealous of someone like me, so take that. So, as it turns out, Mito's warning was not out of spite, because apparently we actually need the weapons to get through the line of defense, and we picked up a Deku stick, which is something that we're going to be needing to use, particularly in the early stages of the game. But now we've made it here to the Great Deku Tree, and we're back. So hello there, Great Deku Tree. Oh Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. I wasn't even aware Link even had wisdom and courage. I mean, he was pretty much an innocent boy hanging out with a Kokiri. Dost thou have enough courage to undertake this task? Well, if we don't, then we don't have a Let's Play. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, you see up to listen well to her words of wisdom. Or in my case, the right joystick pointing up. So, with that established, let us get ourselves a little bit closer, and so we're about to go into the Great Deku Tree, so I'm going to take a quick time out before we go inside, and I'll be right back, and we're gonna make our way into the Great Deku Tree.